Hello gamers, Black Rocket here, and today we're taking a look at the game Satisfactory. So we're going to jump right into the game. We're going to select grass fields as our starting point. We're going to click on the skip intro box, and then we're going to name our session over here, and let's get started. First thing I want to do is get myself used to a couple of the hotkeys. So the first thing we're going to check with is pushing the tab button. That'll open up my inventory. You can see it a little bit limited for right now, but we'll be expanding on that later. And we do have a couple of the key components to start our building since we did skip that intro. I'm going to grab my Xeno Zapper right here and drag it into my hands. And you will see why I want that out in just a few minutes. But for now, we can go down and press the V button, and that's going to bring up this little menu. And if I hold it, I can see a couple of different items that I can scan for. So we got limestone, copper, and iron ore. So iron ore are going to be the basic building blocks of my factory. So I'm going to scan for iron ore. It'll send out a ping. See if we can pick up. There's my HUD pinging all kinds of iron ore. So we have iron ore at 260 meters in that direction, 260 meters in that direction, and 300 meters in that direction. Now I'm going to choose to go towards this gigantic gas cloud in front of me because I'm seeing a lot of open space around there. So we have a little bit too many hills and things there, and this area looks awfully congested. So I'm going to make my way over here, and as I go, I'm going to be grabbing as much stuff as I can. So you can see I got leaves here. There are also some nuts in front of me right here. So I can grab these nuts, and we'll get into what all those things do later on, but just grabbing them now will build you up a little bit of a stockpile. I can also click the shift key, and that'll toggle run on, and that's going to move me around this level much faster. And once you start really exploring, you're going to realize just how vast this level is, and you are going to want to move around it as quickly as possible. Now, I'm just going to click V once because I already scanned for iron. It should ping that automatically. So there they are, and right in front of me you can see 1, 2, and our third one. There it is right over there. So grab as much of this leaves and things, and this guy right here taking a mean look at us is the reason I wanted to have this little weapon in our hand, because he's gonna protect his iron ore, and we are gonna have to make short work of him. So just a couple of zaps from this thing, and we should be able, there he goes, to take care of him. Alright, so let's look at our starting area here. Here are my iron ore nodes. We can take a look at them, and they appear to be normal nodes, which is a good start point. There are some pure nodes that will really pump out a lot of iron, and then impure nodes which will pump out a little bit less, but normal is a great place to start. And I do have 3, so that's going to give me a lot of iron to start my level. So I am seeing a big open area here, so I am perfectly satisfied with this location to start with. Now, a couple of other things that I'm going to need pretty early on are limestone and copper. So I'm going to do a quick scan for both of those, and we got a ping right there from the limestone, so not too far away. And let's hit up copper and see if we have some copper, and there's a ping right up there on the top of the hill. So I am good to start building right here. So let's hit the Q button, and that's going to open my construction menu, and you can see I have the hub right here. This is going to be the basic starting point for pretty much everything in this game. It's where our factory is going to build off of. So I'm going to grab that, and as I look around, I want to find a nice open spot for it. Everything in this game is deconstructible, so I can take things back for the exact price they cost me. So moving things around is not a hassle, so you can do that as frequently as you want, and we're going to want to do it a lot. So don't be too over concerned about where you're starting to build your factory, because you're most likely going to tear the whole thing down and reconstruct it after a few upgrades anyway. So we just want to build things kind of basic to begin with and not get caught up trying to line everything up and get everything perfect to start. Let's jump into the hub. And if we go over here to the hub terminal, you can see that we have a bunch of milestones that we can activate. These are upgrades that we can make to the base and ways to unlock new recipes and things like that. So I'm going to go to tier 1 and click on base building. And this down here will show you all the things that you will unlock and then also what they will cost you. So I'm going to select that milestone. And then you can see that we're going to need 200 concrete, 100 iron plates, and 100 iron rods. So let's get started on the iron. I'm going to head over to the iron node over here, chip this top block away. And a lot of people like to start with their portable miners. So they'll throw a whole bunch of portable miners out here and just start collecting raw ore. But that requires you to go from the miner to the smelter manually. And this game is all about automation. So we're going to skip that step. And we are going to we're going to press Q to open our build menu. Go down to production. And we're going to find a miner Mark 1. Grab that. And you can see that it snaps right to the iron ore node. Just like that. So we'll put that in place. And there is our first miner. Now you can see it's not doing anything, and that's because it does not have power yet. So we're going to kind of stretch out this line here, and then we'll add power to the whole thing all at once. From the miner, we're going to get straight iron ore. So we're going to have to smelt that. So again, I'm going to hit Q, open up my build menu, and construct a smelter. And I want to line up my outputs and my inputs. Outputs are green arrows. Inputs are orange arrows, and just a nice straight line. Again, going to tear most of this down, so not too concerned with how perfect it is yet. I have a couple of hotkeys down at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that are pre-programmed for me. So I'm going to hit 3, and that's going to give me my conveyor belt. And conveyor belts are going to be the workhorse of your factory. They're going to move everything around. They require no electricity. So you can see it's already grabbing some of that iron that I dropped in there from the chipping the top of the node off, but it's not really going to start producing anything until I get that power going. In our smelter, we're going to smelt iron ingots, and then from that, we are going to open our build menu, constructor, and line that up as well. And that is going to make our iron plates. So you can see mined, smelted, and turned into iron plates. And since nothing's happening yet, let's get some power running to that. That's going to take us to these two big bad boys over here. These are the biomass burners. So I'm going to here, and you can see I can fire in any of these. These are irrelevant items, so anything that the machine can use will be shown up here. And I can take my leaves and just drop them right in there. And now I can get some power up and running. So I'm going to hit 2 to build a power line. Come straight out this way. And then build a couple of power lines down the line here. The power lines are pretty limited to begin with. They can only have 4 wires connected to them, which really limits you because you need 2 just to kind of pass through it. So you're going to be building a lot of these to begin with, but once you start upgrading and we get to higher levels, the amount of lines connected to them can also upgrade, and then you can replace them for higher models. So now we have this whole process automated. Iron ore going to the smelter, smelter going to the constructor, and the constructor making iron plates for us. We're going to duplicate this whole process on the next node. So you can see another node right over there. We're going to duplicate this entire process for iron rods. We have our iron rod facility fully automated and powered, mined, smelted rods. So we're going to let those get to work over there, and you can see we are going to start taxing our biomass reactor over here. So I'm going to connect our second biomass reactor on there, and let's start dumping some things in here as well. Now what I'd like to do is start making denser biomass. So I'm going to use a constructor over here, and to copy a constructor you can press the F key. This is our deconstruct tool, but if I click my mouse wheel I'll actually take a copy of whatever I'm currently looking at. So I grabbed a constructor and I want to place it right here, run a power line to it, and you can see I can start creating biomass. Now biomass is much more energy dense than leaves are and will provide a lot more energy over a longer period of time. And here we are, the very humble beginnings of our factory, built up, automated, ready to go. We got our iron up and ready. lots more work to do. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment down below with some of your own tips and tricks for getting started in Satisfactory.